So, my dear students, hello to everyone. However, in my previous videos, I was unable to show myself, but so as to make this teaching learning process efficient and effective, it was much needed. So that's why this time I have come up with this face showing videos as well, in which I would like to interact with you with more attention. So here I have come up with the next chapter of civics, electoral politics. This time I have divided the videos into two parts. So here it is, part 1. So as you all know that in previous chapter so far, so whatever you have studied about democracy, so you would have understood that democracy is perhaps the best form of government in which the rulers are chosen by the people, and these rulers then take the decisions by which the country is governed. So the thing is this, definitely the rulers are chosen by the people. So how people used to choose the rulers? This question has become more important, that how the people they used to choose the rulers. So the process by which the people used to choose their rulers is elections. So in this chapter, electoral politics, we are going to study the different aspects of elections. What are elections? What are the different types of elections? How elections are conducted, and then up to the declaration of the results. And we will also talk about the drawbacks of election if there will be any. So let us start our chapter. So first of all, let me tell you a story about the state assembly elections in Haryana. As you can see on this particular slide as well, it is written. So Haryana is a very small state in comparison to the other states like Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Rajasthan. These are the big states, but Haryana is a small state in the northwestern part of our country, adjoining the boundaries with the states such as MP, Maharashtra. I'm sorry, not the boundaries with these states, rather to say that it shares the boundary with Punjab, Delhi, Jammu and Kashmir. So just hold on, just let me put my phone on airplane mode so that it means others should not disturb us. So Haryana touches the boundary with the state of Jammu and Kashmir, Delhi, of course, the Union Territory of Delhi, Punjab. So in Haryana, as I told you, it is a small state, so it is divided into the 90 constituencies in total. Constituency, let me tell you, in Hindi we call constituency as Chunav Kshetra. So Haryana is divided into a total of 90 constituencies. And out of these 90 constituencies, if we talk about the ruling party, up to 1982 was the Congress party. The renowned Congress party was ruling in the state of Haryana since 1982. And after 1982, a person named Chaudhry Devi Lal, so who was an opposition leader at that time in 1982, he started a movement which was known as Nyay Yudh. It was Nyay Yudh, means a struggle for the justice. And he formed a new party named as Lok Dal. And his party formed an alliance, means Gathbandhan, with other political parties against the Congress in the next elections. So in the next elections, in his election manifestos are given by the political leaders and parties before the elections. Manifestos are just we can say advertisement, in which the political parties and the leaders, they try to tell about their policies, that if they are going to win the election, if they are going to form the government, then what they are going to do. So in their election manifesto, Chaudhry Devi Lal or we can say his party Lok Dal, they have promised that if their party will win the elections and will make the government, then it would be the first action of their government that first of all they will waive off the loans which are taken by the small farmers and the small businessmen. So the loans taken by the small farmers and the businessmen will be waived off. Waived off मतलब माफ कर दिए जाएंगे. So this promise was not a small one. So when the election held, people overwhelmingly they voted for the Lokdal and in support of Chaudhary Devilal, and as a result, as a consequence of it, Lokdal won the elections. So when Lokdal won the elections, now it was the time for Chaudhary Devilal to keep his promise, and he kept it as well. So he kept his promise, and as a result he waived off the loan taken by the farmers and the small businessmen immediately after winning the election. This was the very first action taken by the government of Chaudhary Devilal. So as a result, out of 90 seats, Lokdal alone, I told you in the very beginning that Lokdal formed an alliance with the other political party in front of Congress party. So Lokdal alone out of 90 total seats won on 60 seats, and thus it was having a clear majority in the assembly. So but the Congress, we would also like to talk about the Congress, who just won 5 seats in total out of 90. So Devilal became the chief minister of the state, and he has given the order to waive off the loan of small farmers and businessmen. So here you would have understood a little bit the idea of elections, that how the elections are conducted, what is done before the election, then how people used to vote. So in this way you would have understood so far, but in order to understand it in a better manner, in order to understand each and every aspect of election, let us move further. First of all, we need to know about what is the need of election. Why do we need elections? So talking about the need of elections, there are several things which are beneficial. So with the election, what happens that we can choose, means all the people they can choose that means which party, which leaders who are going to make laws for us. Apart that, number 2, that people can also choose that who is going to form the government and is going to take the decisions by which we all are getting affected. Means we not only choose the government, but at the same times, because this government is ultimately going to make the decision, they used to take the decisions, so we also choose that who is going to make the decisions by which we may be affected. Now, of course we will be affected. And the third thing which is because of which we need elections is, we can say that we also used to choose the party, because different parties are having their different agendas, different policies, different principles on which political parties work. So we, with the help of election, we also used to choose that which political parties policies will be followed, and we have to follow which policy, which kind of policies. This we also came to know by the help of elections only. So elections may be democratic, they may not be democratic. Democratic means democratic election ensures that elections has 2 aspects. First, that people used to choose the rulers. So some used to choose while others are chosen. Some used to choose, others are chosen. So in both the things, it is mandatory that those who are choosing, they should get the equal opportunity to choose, and those who are being chosen, they should also get the equal opportunity to get chosen. So there are some conditions for elections to be called as democratic. So here you can see that these all conditions are mentioned. So the conditions are like this, that everyone should be able to choose. First of all, means that all the person, those who are having right to vote, they should get an opportunity to vote for the leaders whom they want to make their leader. The other thing that they should also get the choices, because different political parties are there, different political parties put forward different candidates. So we should be having an option in between which we can choose the rulers as per our choice. And not only this, that we are choosing the rulers, apart that we this choice the choice should be offered at regular intervals, means that after a regular interval of time these elections should held, so that we are having an opportunity to change the rulers if once we have done some wrong choice, if we have once we have chosen some wrong leader or wrong party, at other time we must be having some choice. And the candidate who is preferred by the majority of the person, by majority of the population, that person should be chosen. And finally, the fifth point, you can see that elections, it is mandatory that all the elections should be conducted in free and fair manner, means without the use of any corrupt practice, without the distribution of alcohol, without the use of money, without any fear, without any hesitation. Freely all the voters should have chosen their leader or their party. Then we call, if all these conditions are being followed, then we can call the elections as democratic. Now let us know that what do we mean by political competition. Political competition, as it is made up of two words, political and competition. Whenever we talk about any kind of competition, for example, you can talk about the different kind of competitions which are there in our school also. So in competitions, different people, different students, they used to participate. So in political competition, we talk about the political competition, means the competition between the political leaders and the political parties. So whenever we talk about the competition between the different political leaders and different political parties, then that kind of competition is known as political competition. Now let us move ahead. Whenever any competition is there, definitely there are some merits as well as demerits. If we talk about the competitions in the school, merits is that it ensures the participation of students. It also gives an opportunity for the student to show their talents and to inspire other students also in the same way. And if we talk about the demerits, then demerit is this, that in political competition, in the competitions in school, some student has to win and some has to lose. In the same way, if we talk about the political competition, it also has some benefits, some advantages and some disadvantages as well. So first of all, let us talk about the merits, the advantages of political competition. So if competition is healthy, means regular electoral competition is there, if at a regular period of time elections are being conducted, then political parties and political leaders, they need to verify themselves that whether they are working actually or not, because people in the next elections, they are going to vote them on the basis of this only. And due to the political competition only, the different political leaders, they used to listen to the people, they used to raise their voices, and the voices of the common person, the voices of the ordinary person, they reach to the government due to competition only. If there would not be any kind of competition, then maybe this was possible that these political leaders or parties, they would not have looked after the needs of the people, that what the people are expecting in a particular area. So now let us talk about another merit of political competition, that it is because of the political competition only that the people, that those who are in this competition, they used to serve the people. If competition would not be there, every time only one person used to win, then they might not have served the people. We can take the help of an example also, that if a shopkeeper, means whatever shopkeepers are there in the market, they used to sit in the market just for making the profit. But if they would be just sitting for making the profit, if they would not be looking after the after sale, then people might have approached their shop once, but at the other time they are not going to visit their shop. So In the same way, in political competition also, it is necessary that even if a political leader or a political party do not wish to want to serve the society, they just want to fill their pockets, still they have to serve the society, because if they are not going to serve the society in the very next elections, they are going to lose those elections. So now let us talk about the demerits of political competition. First of all, it creates a sense of disunity and factionalism in every locality. Every time in every locality, means few peoples they support some party, few other peoples they used to support some other political parties. So it creates a disunity, means some people they comes on the side of one political party or one leader, while the other people, or they used to take side of the other political party. So different political parties and leaders they also used to allegate on each other, means वो एक दूसरे पे आरोप प्रत्यारोप करने लगते हैं, आरोप लगाने लगते हैं कि हमारी पॉलिसीज आपसे बेटर हैं, आपकी पॉलिसीज हमसे बेटर नहीं हैं, कैसे हैं. दिस ऑल दे यूज्ड टू they used to show by their actions, by their activities. Next, the political parties and candidates they used to use the dirty tricks, some of the dirty tricks such as the distribution of alcohol, distribution of money, threatening the voters. So these are the different kind of corrupt practices which are used by the political leaders and party in order to win the election, and it is all done because of the political competition. And another very important point to be noted about the demerits, that the long term policies they get affected due to the short term policies. This you can clearly understand by looking at the case of Haryana assembly elections of 1987. So in Haryana you can see that Chaudhary Devi Lal, he has said in his election manifesto that if his party is going to win the elections in next elections, then they used to waive off the loan of farmers and small businessmen. This was a short term policies. Due to this kind of short term policies, the long term policies are definitely affected. Long term policies are affected, and as long term policies are affected, this of course it is not a very easy task. You can see that if we talk about it, then the long term policies affected the short term policies. So the long term policies providing the job opportunities to different people, it is a long term policy, but waiving of the loan, it is a short term policy. Now let us know about another demerit, that is some people, some good people, some really educated people who want to serve the society, they do not enter into the arena of politics. They do not enter in this arena of politics, because they don't want to be a part of this kind of unhealthy competition. You can see this unhealthy competition they don't want to be a part of. So these are some of the merits and demerits of electoral competition. Now let us know about the types of elections. So there are three kinds of election: general election, midterm election, and by-election. First of all, let us talk about the general elections. If we talk about the general elections, all the elections which held regularly after every 5 years on all the constituency I have explained you earlier also. So all the elections which held after every 5 years at the same time on all the constituencies, such elections are called as general elections, which are held after every 5 years. Let us talk about first the by-elections. If we talk about the by-elections, when election held on any particular constituency, and why this happens? This happens due to the death or resignation of any member on that particular constituency. Such elections are called as by-election. Now let us talk about the third, that is the midterm election. If we talk about the midterm elections, then the elections which held on all the constituency at the same time before 5 years on all the constituency. So before 5 years on all the constituency at the same time. And why this is done? This is done due to breaking up of any kind of coalition. When the coalition breaks before 5 years, then election held on all the constituency at the same time, then such kind of elections are known as by-elections. Now let us talk about the reserved constituency and the voters list. If we talk about the reserved constituencies, then it is clear from its name that is reserved. Means the constituency which are reserved for some particular category. It may be on the basis of the caste, it may be on the basis of the gender. So however, this gender based reservation has been introduced very late, but the reservation on the basis of the caste, on the basis of the category, that is the SC, ST and OBC, this is going on from a long time comparatively. There are some constituencies in total which are reserved for some particular category of people. So maybe some of you would be thinking that the reservation of this kind is a violation of right to equality, but previously also means you know that reservations of these kind are not the violation of right to equality, because this provide a platform to SC and ST category members, so as they can also represent in the assembly of state or national assembly even. So that's why there are some constituency which are reserved, and this reservation is done as per the proportion of these category people in the total population. Now let us talk about the voters list. First of all, let me tell you that in simple words we call it a voters list, which includes the name of all the candidates, those who are eligible for vote, and this eligibility criteria in our country, it is 18 years. And voters list is officially, it is known as electoral roll. This is very important, that a voters list officially it is known as electoral roll. And the revision, however, revision of this voter list keep on going, because some people keep on adding in the population, some people keep on going away from the population, because some people are dying and many people they are taking birth also. So this voter list keep on revising, keep on updating, but the complete revision of this voters list take place after every 10 years, complete revision. However, every year this revision keep on taking place. Now let us know about the third and very important thing, that is EPIC, election photo identity card. It is the full form of this EPIC. So in the previous years, the system of voting which was going on was the system of ballot paper, but recently the system of EVMs has started, electronic voting machine has come up. So so now one thing which is very important, that is the voter card. सो जिसको हम पहचान पत्र कई बार हिंदी में बोलते हैं. सो ऑल द सिटीजन्स दोज हु अटेन द एज ऑफ 18 एंड हुज नेम्स आर एनलिस्टेड इन द इलेक्टोरल रोल, दैट इज द वोटर्स लिस्ट, they government, or the better to say the Election Commission of India, used to issue an EPIC in the name of that person, on which the address of that person is also written. It is the identity which is issued by the Election Commission of India, and by showing this ID, people are allowed to give the vote. However, means people can give the vote without carrying this EPIC also. Without carrying this EPIC, they are allowed to give the vote. But still, the means government has so far not made it compulsory, but in the coming years it may be made compulsory as well. So my dear students, this was all so far. Now in the next topic, in the means not the next topic, in the next part we will learn more. Thank you so much. Just wait for the next part.